I think this government is setting the NHS up to fail, and that if we have another Tory government...
So I can finish that sentence. And speaking as a doctor here, whose wife is also a doctor, speaking as British citizens who only yesterday moved out of Britain, out of England, to live and work in the Republic of Ireland, I can tell you this categorically. If there is another Conservative government in Britain, in England, the NHS is over. Because the Conservatives and their friends in business are only interested in one thing, which is to make the NHS look so bad that people will be so fed up that they will lose their feeling of respect and love for the NHS to such an extent that they'll stop worrying about what happens to it, and that will be their opportunity to privatize it to death, so that people will then be forced to pay for every single piece of medicine and healthcare that they need, turning it into a privilege rather than a right, and in doing so forcing people into bankruptcy simply to look after their health and the health of their loved ones. Because the Conservatives know full well, and so do their partners and friends in business, that healthcare is the most lucrative area of life if it's privatized, because people would be willing to give up far more for their health and for the health of their loved ones than they would, for example, for a new car, or for new clothes, or for a house. You see, there are countries around the world where health is privatized, and people go into bankruptcy trying to get the most basic of treatments. They take out loans that they can't afford. They remortgage their house. They sell their homes only to get the most basic of healthcare. So, if you don't want British society to collapse, if you don't want public services to collapse, if you don't want civil disobedience, if you don't want Scotland to become independent and Northern Ireland to reunify with the Republic of Ireland, even if you do want those things, frankly, if you vote for a Conservative government one more time, everything that we know and love about Britain will collapse. Because the Conservatives are not there to look after the country, they're there to look after themselves, and they see England as one massive business, a business that they can keep making money out of for their favorite friends in the business world. Now, the fact of the matter is, the NHS is one of the largest and most prestigious institutions in the world that serves millions of people on a day-to-day basis, saves hundreds of thousands of lives on a weekly basis, and by the way, it's one of the most respected organizations in the world, where some of the best doctors around the world come to work, some of the best doctors, nurses, and others. The fact is, though, Conservatives want to turn it into a profit. Don't let them.